AI in the control room will act as a high-speed co-pilot, rather than a full replacement for human operators. At least for the next decade in Asian grids. Imagine it's 3:12 a.m. in a regional control center. A storm front is approaching. One 500 kV line is heavily loaded and a new AI assistant pops up. Recommendation: reconfigure topology, open breaker B17, and redispatch 200 megawatts from plant X. Do you trust it enough to click execute, or do you override it, based on gut feel and 20 years of experience? This episode is about that moment. How far AI can go in supporting or replacing system operators in Asian control rooms. Most Asian transmission control rooms already use SCADA's platforms. Real-time telemetry and status from substations. State estimation, contingency analysis, and security-constrained economic dispatch. Alarm lists, one-line diagrams, and operator procedures. But they face three growing issues. Data volume outpacing human processing capacity. More stochastic behavior from renewables, Delaware Rs, and prosumers. Alarm floods and complex contingencies that strain cognitive bandwidth. AI is entering this context, not a blank slate. We're not talking about a generic chatbot. We're talking about models wired into OT workflows. ML forecasting. Models feeding MS, load, PV, wind, prices. Neural network-based dispatch optimizers and recommender systems. Anomaly detectors running on PMU, South Carolina ADA, and network traffic data. LLM-style assistants that can interpret one-lines, event logs, and procedures, e.g. eGridPect, Camusa-style copilots. The key is where they sit on the loop: advisory recommendations, semi-automatic operator confirms, or automatic AI executes. Let's ground this in a scenario. We're in 2030, in a fictional but realistic Asian TSO control center. The grid, 30-40% variable renewables, large coastal load centers, growing AI data center clusters, and some HVDC links. The control room has a legacy SCADA, EAMS platform, an AI copilot layer forecasting, recommender systems, alarm clustering, and a grid LLM integrated with a digital twin. Gilles Chaspier. We'll walk through morning peak afternoon congestion, an evening cyber incident, and nighttime maintenance planning. The shift starts with an ASHA-DI-generated forecast briefing. 24-hour load curve per region. Wind on solar generation forecast with confidence bands. Probabilistic NION violation and congestion risk per corridor. Technically, models are hybrid. Physics, informed plus ML-e.g. LSTMI. Gradient boosting on historical load and weather. Outputs include prediction intervals and SHAP-style feature importance. Temperature, cloud cover, event flags. Operators and planning engineers review, challenge, and adjust. AI does the heavy lifting. Humans set the narrative. Dispatch engineers run day-ahead and intra-day optimization. Traditional CDUC solves MILT problems with security constraints. The AI layer proposes faster warm starts based on learned commitment patterns. Alternative redispatch sets that minimize a composite cost: fuel, congestion, emissions. Under the hood, NRL-based policies trained on historical set outcomes and simulated contingencies propose near optimal dispatch vectors. EMS still runs a deterministic ACC power flow and security check before any set points go live. Humans compare classic versus AI-assisted dispatch plans and approve one. By mid-morning, a 400 kV corridor shows rising loading due to high PV in one zone and industrial demand in another. The AI tool highlights real-time line flows and forecasted overload probabilities, e.g. 70% chance of exceeding 95% rating within 2 hours. Candidate actions, topology changes, switching, reconfiguring tie lines, redispatch, or calling demand response. Technical detail. Fast DC power flow approximations are embedded in the RL agent. Each candidate action is validated through the EMS full AC load flow and transient limits. AI outputs a ranked list. Action, expected relief in MVA, constraint risk reduction, and estimated cost curtailment. Operators see the why behind each recommendation, not just a black-a-box suggestion. A switching operation goes wrong at a 220 kV substation. A breaker fails to open cleanly. SCADA alarms explode, dozens of high-priority messages in seconds. The AI alarm manager clusters alarms into one event, identifies the primary device and bus, groups secondary alarms, voltage dips, remote low signals as consequences, not root causes. Under the hood, unsupervised clustering plus rule-based mapping of devices and connectivity knowledge graph. Operator UI shows a single incident card with the suspect device, timeline, and recommended diagnostic steps. This reduces cognitive overload and misprioritization. In the afternoon, behind the diameter PV and batteries plus EV charging ramp up, creating volatility at the distribution transmission interface. The AI coordinator aggregates telemetry and market bids to estimate net injection withdrawal per F-eater and zone. It then recommends adjusting set points for aggregators. Minor voltage control actions, tap changes reactive dispatch to stay within limits. Technically, this uses aggregated DARE models, probabilistic forecasts, and sensitivity factors, PTDF, to estimate impact on critical lines and voltages. Policies constrained by grid codes. No action is proposed outside permitted ranges. Operators approve or adjust the system logs, rationales for post-event review. Later, the SOC flags unusual traffic on a substation's RTZPN link. An AI-driven intrusion and anomaly detection system, trained on normal OT network patterns and power system signatures detects abnormal command sequences, timing patterns inconsistent with operator behavior, deviations between commanded and measured states. Models combine network level features, DDNP3, UET104 packet patterns, and process level features, breaker status, flows, voltages. Detection uses unsupervised anomaly detection and supervised classifiers trained on cyber-physical testbed. The AI system raises an alert with an attack likelihood score and affected assets. The AI security assistant proposes containment options. Isolate the compromised substation's control channel, but keep local protection and automation active. Reconfigure surrounding lines topology to maintain on-WAN security if the substation is lost. Shift some control functions to fallback local or backup control center. Under the hood, a reinforcement TWI-learning agent has been trained in a cyber-physical simulation, cyber range type environment, to propose containment actions that minimize load loss and cascading risk. Operators and cyber engineers jointly decide. AI does rapid option generation. Humans choose based on rules and judgment. As the evening shift approaches, the AI assistant drafts a situational awareness summary, major events, system state, active constraints, handover notes, what changed, what's pending, what to watch, draft incident reports for the cyber anomaly and any system disturbances. Technically, an LLM fine-tuned on past incident reports, logs, and procedures converts structured event data into natural language summaries. It attaches key plots, load curves, line loadings, event timelines. Operators review and edit. This saves time and standardizes documentation. At night, with lower load, planners use the AI digital twin environment to test next day's maintenance outages and switching plans. The impact of taking line SID transformers out while maintaining security under forecasted res conditions. Candidate remedial action schemes for high-risk scenarios. Under the hood, a digital twin combines network topology, dynamic models, and forecasted injections. AI explores outage combinations and proposes windows where risk is lowest. With contingency metrics, probabilistic in on fotuntu security. Again, operators remain the gatekeepers. From an electrical engineer's standpoint, AI adds clear value where problems are high-dimensional and data-rich, short-term forecasting, alarm clustering, Delaware R behavior. Decisions can be verified by existing physics SALDA-based solvers, dispatch proposals, topology suggestions. Speed and pattern recognition matter more than deep contextual judgment. Cyber anomaly detection, fault pattern recognition. These are augmentation domains, not replacement. Areas to be cautious with full automation, real-time remedial actions that significantly alter grid topology under stressed condition. High consequence actions, where model errors could cause cascading outages. Situations where the training data doesn't cover new system conditions, e.g., extreme res penetration, novel HVDC configurations. Standards and regulators are converging on operator in the FISA loop. plus explainability requirements for such functions. For engineers to trust AI, they need more than scores. They need explanations. That means feature importance, which measurements or states drove a recommendation. Counterfactuals. What happens if we don't act or choose action B instead of a modal validity ranges, where the model has seen data versus extrapolating. Modern tools use SHAP, LIME, and physics informed constraints to present explanations in engineering language, not just ML jargon. In North America, Nebraska RECC sets strict rules. Asian regulators are moving in similar directions. Key themes: critical functions must remain compliant and auditable, even with AI in the loop. AI tools must not bypass access control, logging, or change management processes. For high-risk applications, regulators may require formal validation, certification, and the ability to fall back to manual or legacy modes. Controller room AI must be treated like protection settings or EMS changes, governed, documented, and reviewable. AI introduces new attack surfaces: data poisoning, training data manipulated to bias models, model evasion, adversarial inputs causing misclassification of anomalies or normal states, supply chain risks, compromised AI libraries or models embedded in OT environments. Mitigations include model robustness testing and red teaming, segregating training and inference environments, cryptographic signing and version control for models, continuous monitoring of AI behavior against physics expectations. As AI takes over data crunching and routine recommendations, operator roles shift towards supervisory control, validating AI outputs, handling exceptions and novel conditions, Gillet Chaspier, scenario thinking running what-to-if studies, designing new operating policies, cyber-physical awareness, understanding both electrical and IT-AI failure modes. Training providers are already building curricula that combine power system fundamentals, EMS practice, and AI literacy. AI will not replace experienced dispatchers overnight, but it will increasingly handle the scale, speed, and synthesis tasks humans can't, while humans focus on judgment, trade-offs, and the unexpected. The real risk is not too much AI, but ungoverned AI. Tools added piecemeal, without clear roles, validation, or cyber safeguards. I work with utilities and system operators to map AI opportunities in control rooms, forecasting, decision support, cyber analytics, against risk, regulation, and skills, and to run executive workshops that align OT, and leadership on a safe roadmap. If your organization is asking how far to go with AI in grid operations, and how to stay on the right side of reliability and compliance, details are in the description. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next. Ollie said. 1.